Before the blood-filled elevators, before Jack loses his mind, something else sets the mood in this film. The music. It's unsettling, often abstract, and deeply psychological. But why does it work so well? Today, we will be diving into the music that helped carve the legacy of one of the most iconic horror films of all time, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. In the horror genre, what we see as the viewer is not always what the director tries to portray. Visuals alone cannot be dependent on for information. It's sound that helps to ground us in the reality of the situation displayed on screen, and to manipulate the emotions we feel throughout a film. Kubrick's choice of avant-garde, atonal compositions show a major deviation from the industry standard. Take this scene from The Exorcist, for example, where the viewer is deprived of any music at all. All we are focused on in this scene is the dialogue between Father Damien and Pazuzu speaking through Reagan. The tension forms in the silence of unknowing.
You want to loosen the straps, huh?
I'm afraid you might hurt yourself, Reagan.
I'm not Reagan.
I see. Well, then, let's introduce ourselves.
Or in the instance of the now famous scene from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, the use of unnerving and dissonant string sound, still focused around pitch for its desired effect of causing panic in the viewer. Looking at a sonic overview of The Shining, we can see that Kubrick made highly intriguing decisions on which composers he would pull works from. Post-tonal artists such as Krzysztof Penderecki and Georgi Ligeti are prominently featured in this film, along with brief appearances from Wendy Carlos and Rachel Elkind, pioneers of electronic music in the early 70s. Kubrick doesn't score scenes with melody, he scores them with unease.
Come out, wherever you are.
With Penderecki's work, we are exposed to deeply textured and atonal passages of static tension. This, blended with the eerie, floating dissonance of Ligeti's compositions, provide a score enveloped in concentrated uneasiness. The viewer can never find comfort, even when what we see appears to be very mundane. Take this scene where Danny is under the influence of spirits trying to save him and his mother from Jack's murderous rampage. Nothing inherently terrifying is happening, but the soundscape material from Penderecki's On the Nature of Sound, No. 2, provides an atmosphere of nervous energy.
Red rum. Red rum. Red rum. Red rum. Red rum. Red rum! 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 Stop it! Red rum! Red rum! Red
From the very first frame, death hangs over the film. Not visually, but sonically. In this opening scene, we are greeted by the very famous helicopter shots over the mountains, paired with Carlos's and Elkind's electronic reimagining of Dies Irae, a medieval hymn of the dead, commonly used to signify doom. The slow, pulsing synth evokes a sense of isolation and dread, with the inevitability of death reinforced by the subtle return and manipulation of the theme multiple times throughout the opening. The The music serves as a dreary foreshadowing before the audience even understands anything about the narrative, setting the tone for the entirety of the film from the very beginning. The music of The Shining also aims to provide a sense of disorientation, reflecting the absurdly surreal nature of the Overlook Hotel. The uneven dynamics and tonal chaos of the works presented mirror the temporal instability experienced within the hotel walls. It serves as an unreliable narrator, telling us that what we hear feels far worse than what we see. The Overlook doesn't just shift visually, it makes it feel like time and space are slipping. Take this clip of Danny riding his tricycle through the hotel. There is no music, yet we are still presented with this idea of ambiguity through the jarring cuts of sound between the wheels of the tricycle on the hardwood versus the carpet. The sound is cut unnaturally quiet when Danny goes over the carpet and returns as normal upon contact with the hardwood. This unnatural balance of sound reinforces that same surreal feeling. Now watch this second tricycle scene paired with music. Note how the music changes the feeling from ambiguity to rising tension. As we move towards the climax of the film, we see that music begins to represent Jack's descent into madness. It presents as external horror, but transforms into internal chaos. Kubrick's choice to use Bela Bartok's sound layering helps to create psychological claustrophobia. It's not that the music is eerie at this point, it's more unstable, like Jack. Tension builds before loud, unpredictable bursts of sound interrupt to help bring us back to reality. All of this can be felt in this scene of Jack working at his typewriter as his wife comes in to greet him.
How's it going?
Fine.
This later scene between Jack and Danny creates a more subtle atmosphere of buried insanity. The music has sort of a mysterious, wandering quality to it, holding enough tension to provide uneasiness, but not enough to create obtrusive horror.
I love it. Don't you?
I guess so.
Good. I want you to like it here.
Then, music becomes a weapon. At this point, the music isn't just background, it's the Overlook Hotel screaming through the walls as its true sadistic power comes into fruition. This idea is properly displayed in the maze chase scene towards the end of the film. The music aims to heighten Jack's inhuman aggression and Danny's pure terror through the sound of roaring strings representing Jack's rage and percussive tapping representing Danny running away.
I'm coming!
Penderecki's Utrenia turns chaos into ritualistic horror as voices begin whispering behind the music, simulating the voices that seem to be driving Jack mad.
I'm right behind you!
The last scene shows an eerie contrast between cheerful nostalgia and grim reality. A 1930s dance track, Midnight, the Stars, and You, plays as the camera does an excruciatingly long zoom into a photograph of a gala at the hotel from 1921, 50 years prior to the events of the movie. Musical irony presents itself as a final closing statement from the director, presenting a blissful melody juxtaposed to such a haunting image, as we realize that Jack Torrance has always been at the hotel. Kubrick wants to leave us smiling, but the imagery paired with the soundtrack continues our unease. As the screen fades to darkness and the credits begin to roll, we sit in our seats, contemplating the true reality of the Overlook Hotel. Kubrick didn't just use music, he weaponized it. The terror he creates doesn't come from the things we see on the screen. It comes from the sounds we hear that crawl under our skin and make us uncomfortable, without us always knowing why. The unique style of emotional manipulation of an audience through music found in this film is certainly a large contributing factor to its continued success 45 years later. This film will stand the test of time for being a pioneer of a new realm of psychological horror, creating an atmosphere of constant unease and anxiety, one that makes us believe that there is truly no escape from the horror of the Overlook Hotel.